Hello there to all my YouTube viewers. It's been a while since I've made a video, and since that time I've seen probably the greatest comic book superhero movie of all time, The Avengers. Yeah, I've seen it not once, but twice. This movie was so nice, I had to see it twice. That sounded cheesy, and I didn't see it twice on the same day. I don't have that much money. Moving on, since everybody has already made a review video, and I'm decided to do something a tad bit different. I'm going to list my top 10 favorite moments from the Avengers, because everybody's done a review, and I want to do something a little different. I know I just said that. But let's begin with moment number 10. Yes, I've made cue cards so that I can keep track. Moment number 10 is when Banner turns into the Hulk on the helicarrier and then chases down Black Widow. Personally, that is the scariest moment in the entire movie, because it literally had me squirming in my seat watching it. Not just the fact that it was scary, it felt like she was being chased by the Hulk, but it also showed that Mark Ruffalo did a really good job playing the Hulk, and it showed that he brings some humanity to the Hulk. He was able to fill the Hulk / Bruce Banner's shoes very well, because in that moment you saw the humanity in the Hulk, because as he's turning into the Hulk, Bruce Banner turns to Black Widow and looks her in the eye and gives her this look of, I'm sorry what I'm about to do, because he's about to bring the house down. It's probably a very good moment, because it had a lot of people, when I saw this movie the first time, jumping, squirming around, because we all knew this was going to happen, but it kind of caught everybody off guard. It's personally one of my favorite moments in the movie. It's top 10, but it's one of my favorites. Alright, moving on to moment number 9. Number 9 is when the Avengers meet for the first time on the helicarrier. All together. Well, all 5 out of 6, but yeah, all of them meeting for the first time. There are a lot of good moments in there. I love the dynamic in it, because these people didn't like each other at first. You can tell that already from the different various conversations they've had, but they're all together in the same room. And it shows that these people, it could be really cheesy and say, let's fight for truth and justice and the American way. No. These people have their own flaws and egos that they have to overcome. And also, there are a lot of moments that are my favorites, starting from the line where Thor says, he's adopted. The he's adopted line had everybody cracking up in my movie theater when I saw it the first time. Second time I saw it, same chuckles, but yeah, pretty much. The other thing is that Tony Stark owned this whole scene, from beginning to the moment he entered the scene to the moment where he left the scene and the scene ended. It was really good because it was funny. I noticed some things that the first time I was cracking up, and then in the second time I saw it, I noticed some things that I didn't see before. Like the part where Tony's covering his eye to show that, when he's looking at the shield monitors, and he asked how does Fury see these? And Maria's like, he turns. That's exhausting. It was good. I failed to notice that, because I failed to notice the covering of the eye. I thought he was just, and that caught me a little, flew over my head a little bit. And there's another thing. When Captain America, it shows that he's the man at a time. This is one of my favorite moments, because the part where Fury goes, I want to know how he turns some of the sharpest men I know into his personal flying monkeys. Thor's like, monkeys? I do not understand. Cap raises his hand like, I do. He's like, I was laughing. I was giggling. I was probably the only one who caught that when I saw it the first time. But then again, I failed to catch Tony rolling his eyes. I had to see it again to catch that for myself. It was a good moment. I like that. That whole scene was really good. I love the dynamics between all the Avengers. It was really good. It was probably one of my favorite moments. Moment number 8. Let's move on to moment number 8, and that is, it happens during the final fight. The final fight at the end of the movie. It's one of the cool shots in the movie it's after Thor and Hulk take down a Leviathan and some Chitauri and crash land the Leviathan into Grand Central Station. It seemed like it came out of the comic books. They're exhausted and they're like, breathing hard, and then all of a sudden, Hulk punches Thor off frame. It's funny because it does feel like it came out of the comic books. It was funny, and I just loved it moment. Also, it answered a question that I've been reading the IMDb message boards. Well, not recently, but I've read them, and there was this one question. It's like, why did Hulk punch Thor? Because their fight got broken up. They didn't get to finish their little smackdown. Plus the fact that Thor kind of beat him up a little bit, even though Hulk was kind of winning before the fight got broken up. So Hulk got the last punch in their fight. He's like, I win. Boom. Just, yeah, that was completely hysterical. Next up, moment number 7. Moment number 7 is Iron Man versus Thor. I love that moment because it was a big, complete misunderstanding, which usually leads to complete and total brawl, which was really good. The first time I saw it, I geeked out. I was like, ah. Even though I saw it, that clip that they showed before the movie premiered. But the whole thing, the whole scene, the whole fight as a whole was really good. But then the scene turns into Thor's hammer, Mjolnir, versus Cap's shield. It's Uru versus Vibranium, and again, it's a fight that ends in a draw. I wouldn't call it a fight, but it's a face-off against an inanimate object. And it took out all the trees in that forest. Well, not all the trees. It took out the vibration, the shockwave from the vibranium, took out all the trees. The first time I saw it, I went, someone hates trees. I had to make that comment. I know that I sounded stupid, but I made the joke. Alright, let's move on now to moment number 6. Moment number 6, what I call Loki and Black Widow's game of mental chess. They were one-upping each other, and it was good. I love that scene because Loki and Black Widow they're basically testing each other's mantle because Loki's the god of mischief and Black Widow is the uber ultra super spy. Because it shows that Black Widow is more than just a pretty face that can judo kick your face off. She's smart. She's kind of underhanded. But here's what I'm gonna point out. Loki, I think he sort of manipulated her because I think that he played her because he makes her think that she played him. I know there's gonna be an argument. It's just like, it's something that I heard. It's like, you can look at it both ways. I look at it both ways, but everybody has their opinion. Let everybody have what they want. So let me move on to moment number 5. Moment number 5 is probably, it comes at the end of the film, like right near the end of the film, where Loki's licking his wounds after pretty much being defeated and having his ass handed to him. And he's picking himself up. He turns around and all 6 Avengers are looking at him, extremely pissed off. Mainly Hawkeye in the forefront, pointing his arrow ready to fire at Loki's face. You want to be like your father? That's probably what he's thinking. Like, you want to be like Odin? I'll be more than happy to take your eye off for you. No, I make that joke. It sounds stupid, but it's like, yeah, he missed him the first time. Like, I ain't gonna miss again. You're standing right in front of me. And I love Loki's line at the end. It's like, if it's all the same to you, I believe I'll have that drink now. I love that. Tom Hiddleston did an amazing job. I think personally that Heath Ledger posthumously passed on the best comic book supervillain to Loki. It's be stupid to say, but I feel that way. Alright, let's move on to moment number 4. Number 4 is probably one of my favorite moments in the movie. I'm going to be saying that. Hulk versus Thor. It was a short fight, but it was a good fight. It had a lot of moments. My personal favorite is when Thor is waiting for Mjolnir to show up. I thought that the hammer was going to show up right away, really quickly, that it was just going to hop in his hand, and like it did in the trailer. No, it was like a good, maybe 30 seconds, maybe a minute before it came, and it's like, the second time I made this joke, I know nobody laughed at it probably, and I don't care, but I was like, Wait for it. Because we all knew it was coming. I guess that's probably why nobody laughed. But it was good. And I also, a really good moment, well, also a really good part in that moment is Hulk tries to lift Mjolnir. Even though it's not possible for him to lift Mjolnir. It shows that, like, it'd be stupid for anybody else but Thor to lift Mjolnir in the movie. Well, in this movie, anyway. We'll see what happens in the sequels. But other than that, it was a good fight. It was a short fight in some ways, but it was a really damn good fight. Alright, moving on to moment number 3. Moment number 3 is what I call Iron Man's act of selflessness. Because in this entire movie, Tony Stark, Iron Man, pretty much was kind of selfish. He was he was thinking about himself in that point. But in a way, it kind of showed that he was growing up in this film. And I love the fact that he kind of sacrifices himself. That part of him knew that he was probably not going to make it through this. And it took me out of the moment, because I could have been cynical and said, oh, he's going to be fine. He's going to be in Iron Man 3. They can't do Iron Man 3 without Tony Stark. It took me out of that. It's like, it had me on the edge of my seat from when he was planning on doing it to the end. And I would have liked to have heard what he would have said to Pepper if she had answered the phone. She probably did, but the call failed. I wanted to hear, would he have said, I loved you? Would he have said goodbye? We'll never know. I kind of like that it left it, like, we'll leave it at that. Alright, moving on to moment number 2. Moment number 2 is probably everybody's favorite moment. If you're making your own list, it's either going to be number 1 or number 2. To each his own. It's after Loki gets hit with one of Hawkeye's tick-tick boom arrows, and he gets knocked into Tony Stark's office. And Hulk bursts in, ready to kick some ass. And Loki's all like, enough! You are all of you beneath me. I am a god, you dull creature, and I'll not be bullied by it. Cut to Hulk grabbing him by the leg and throwing him back and forth like a rag doll. First time I saw it, everybody was cracking up. People were dying in my theater, like, including me. I had to, like, pretty much mentally shush people so that I could hear the puny god line. I love the puny god line. It's like, it sounded like Ruffalo. I loved it. It was great. Yes. And what I missed in the movie is the part where it sounded like when Loki got the wind knocked out of him. It was good. I love that. I missed that part. Okay. Moment number 1. It's probably the most important moment in the movie. The death of Agent Phil Coulson. That moment had me, like, right here. And it had me at my heart and wouldn't let go. From the moment Loki stabbed him to pretty much his final words to Nick Fury. I love that. He even got his own, like, one last one-liner before he bought the farm. He's like, he shoots the Loki with the destroyer gun after it took a while to charge, and he's all like, oh, so that's what it does. I don't know if he said it like that. I don't want to butcher the line. It was a good movie. It, like, took me out of the moment, because I even called it. If you watch my last video, I called it. But enough about that. It's an important moment because it brought the team together, even though some people are saying that he's still alive. I don't think so. I think he's dead, and it's like, it brought me to, like, I did shed a little bit of a tear. Okay. This whole movie as a whole was phenomenal. It was great. It was a great movie. It's probably one of the only movies that I've seen twice in the theaters. And I normally don't do that because I'm flat broke. It was a phenomenal movie. Now, I'm going to end my video with saying, if you want to make your own top 10 list, feel free. If you want to call me on my list, that's fine. Just please be kind. I'm going to leave you guys with if you want to make a response or tell me what your top 10 was, feel free. This is LV, or whatever you want to call me, signing off. I will see you on the flip side.